Republicans aim to etch Trump's immigration legacy into U.S. law with sweeping enforcement bill in a defining move to institutionalize former President Donald Trump's aggressive immigration agenda. The U.S. House of Representatives has passed a monumental tax and spending bill that earmarks an estimated $150 billion for immigration enforcement, an unprecedented fiscal commitment with the potential to transform the country's border and deportation infrastructure. The bill passed this week in Washington, D.C. comes as Republicans seek to fast track its approval in the U.S. Senate by July 4. With a 53-47 Republican majority in the upper chamber, GOP lawmakers are confident of clearing this legislative hurdle despite looming questions about its long term fiscal implication. Championed by House Homeland Security Committee Chairman Mark Green, the legislation pledges $46.5 billion for the expansion of the U.S Mexico border wall and funding for 10,000 additional immigration enforcement officers. New fees imposed on asylum seekers and other migrants are also embedded in the bill, a stark signal of Trump's intent to make mass deportations a permanent fixture of U.S immigration policy. The measure introduces application costs of at least $1,000 for asylum claims with an additional $550 fee for work authorizations. Over 5 years, asylum seekers could face nearly $6,500 in associated charges. According to the American Immigration Council, families trying to take custody of unaccompanied migrant children would pay a $3,500 fee and $5,000 bond, summing up to $8,500. In a bid to offset some of the spending, Republicans introduced a 5% tax on remittances sent abroad by non-citizens. However, a report from the Center of Global Development warned the tax might yield minimal revenue and encourage senders to find alternative channels, thereby undermining its intent. One particularly contentious provision under Senate review would curtail the power of federal judges to hold officials in contempt of non-compliance with court orders, a clause that critics say threatens the independence of the judiciary. Representative Joe Nusich, a Democrat, slammed it as a deep deviation from existing federal law. This sweeping legislation is not merely a financial commitment, it is a political cornerstone intended to enshrine Trump's immigration doctrine into federal law. As it heads to the Senate, the bill represents more than a policy shift. It poses fundamental questions about America's legal obligations, humanitarian values, and the delicate balance of executive power versus judicial oversight. Whether the bill ultimately passes or stalls under parliamentary scrutiny, one thing is clear: the legacy of Trump's immigration vision is being drafted not just a rhetoric but in enduring legislative ink.